When I was a kid, maybe in second grade, I was given a homework assignment. I was told to make a diorama of the water cycle. I bet many of you have had a similar assignment. I proceeded with it as instructed. I got some blue paint, I got some green paint, I got some brown paint and white paint, some magic markers, some glue, and some little fluffy cotton balls. And I got a shoebox and set to work. Well, actually, my mother and I got to work. Remember, I was 7 or 8 years old. And I don't know about you, but at that age, homework really meant work that I did with my parents at home. Like most 7 or 8-year-olds, I was probably cranky towards and a bit unkind to my mother as she helped me to assemble my diorama. I may have even resented her for making me do my homework assignment. Whatever the case, over the course of a week or so, we transformed a plain shoebox into a model of the water cycle. There was a large blue body of water, probably Lake Michigan since we live near the Great Lakes. Water evaporated from it and then condensed into clouds, those little fluffy cotton balls. After the clouds came precipitation. I had fun portraying a grand thunderstorm with lightning and torrents of rain striking the earth. From there, I showed how water flowed over the green and brown ground, painted in solid, unmixed colors straight from the tube, into the rivers and back into the lake. There were a lot of things that my diorama did not actually show. It did not show the sublimation process, the process where ice converts directly into water vapor, which happens mostly over the polar ice caps. My diorama did not show transpiration. That's the process where plants absorb water from the soil and then push it through their leaves as water vapor. Nor did it show infiltration. That's when water is neither evaporates from the source, nor flows into a river, nor is absorbed by a plant, but moves deep into the soil, seeps down, and increases the groundwater table. Remember, this was second grade. Such concepts are a bit complicated for most 7-year-olds. I may not even be doing a good job of describing them now. Whatever the case, my diorama did not show other things. One of its most glaring omissions was, of course, its attribution. I claim sole credit for its construction. Painted on the back were the words by Colin Bossen. The more honest attribution would have been by Colin Bossen and his mother, Kathy Bossen, who by turns assisted, cajoled, and threatened him until he completed it to her satisfaction. It also completely omitted the processes by which most humans get water. The majority of us do not get it from a lake, or from the clouds, or from the groundwater table directly. We have a complicated infrastructure of water treatment plants and sewage systems that transport clean water to our homes. And then we have drains and toilets and pipes that remove dirty water from them. This summer, I found myself thinking about my second grade water diorama and all of the things it omitted when I was in France. We traveled to a small city in the south of France named Arles. It might be familiar to you. It's most famous as being the place where Vincent van Gogh spent a year painting. His canvases of this time include some of his most famous. His bedroom with its blue walls, blue clothes, blue pictures, blue doors, yellow bed, yellow chairs, and rich textured wooden floor. They include glowing night scenes, a cafe along cobblestones with wooden chairs, crowds sipping cognac, coffee, absinthe, wine, or, well, who knows, as adults and children amble into the darkness. and it includes images of the city's old Roman ruins. For Arles, at its heart, remains a Roman city. The Colosseum and amphitheater are still in regular use. They're surrounded by amazing medieval streets, dense clusters of stone buildings bursting into plazas and squares, and interrupted by flowers hanging from balconies or plentiful pots planted right outside 200-year-old doors. Arles also remains a city of the arts. It's the site of one of the world's largest photography festivals. And you might know that my father is a historian of photography and a museum curator. My parents travel to Arles a couple times every year to take part in the festival. And this year, my son and I joined them. It's really an amazing festival. The exhibitions are generally located in medieval buildings that have been temporarily converted to art galleries. And it is one of these, a 15th century Gothic church, that I found myself thinking about my water diorama. Or more accurately, I found myself thinking about all of the things that it omitted. The church has massive vaulted ceilings. It's made of hand-hewn stone with elegant arches. It's spacious, and when you walk in, it seems to go on and on, almost forever. Inside of it was a huge exhibition of the work of the French photographer Philippe Chancel. He called his exhibition Davidism. It was one of the most terrifying collections of photography I've seen. Chancel has spent the last several years traveling the world photographing sites of catastrophe. He describes his subjects as traumatized ecology, chaotic deindustrialization, and the toxicity of modernization. He's taken photographs of collapsed houses and abandoned factories. He's taken photographs of piles of rubbish, mountains of plastic bottles and rusting iron. He's taken photographs of tankers that have been run to the ground, and their steel and valuable components are being stripped and recycled by workers without adequate safety equipment. Many of his photographs are of water. They do not depict the clean water of the water cycle, the clouds and lakes that my diorama inelegantly displayed. Instead, they portray all of the emissions from that diorama. Water in Africa that has been rendered toxic after it's been used in oil extraction. Water filled with chemicals, glistening thick and black rather than transparent. Water in Flint that is filled with lead and rendered undrinkable. Water that has been packaged and sold in plastic bottles. Plastic bottles that return to the waterways and pollute them. Water in Antarctica. Beautiful, luminous, floating clumps of ice. Massive white fading into blue. Crystal layer upon layer. Objects almost too gorgeous to describe. Icebergs created by our warming planet as glaciers calve into the ocean. Not a sign of a beautiful, healthy planet, but a sign of a planet in distress. In that building, created so that a congregation might gather and worship the Most High, might connect with something or someone greater than themselves, Philippe Chancel portrayed how humans have become disconnected. He showed how we have become disconnected from water and disconnected from each other. He showed the dangers of forgetting, of omitting the fullness of the water cycle. Clouds form over the polar ice caps. We need them to survive. Water travels through the earth. Chemicals placed in the ground will mix with water. We need clean, unpolluted water to survive. He showed the danger of forgetting that we are dependent upon a human-built infrastructure to have safe water in our homes. Flint today does not have safe water. Newark, New Jersey does not have safe water. We have forgotten that we are dependent upon our collective infrastructure, and we are destroying our cities. We need infrastructure to survive. When I envision my second grade diorama now, I think about all the things it omitted. Each absent thing contains a lesson. If my mother's signature had been present on the work, it would have reminded me that I am always part of, connected to, the larger human family. My work, my accomplishments are dependent upon others. None of us is in this world alone. If human infrastructure had been present, I would have been reminded that we are connected to, dependent upon things like sewers and water treatment plants for our survival. We need them to live. And if the water table had been present, I might have been reminded that our collective human actions impact our water, that our actions, for good or for ill, connect us to the planet. And this Sunday, this water communion, as we gather as a religious community for the start of our liturgical year, let us remember that we are connected and dependent. We are connected and dependent to the larger human community. We are connected and dependent upon the infrastructure that we have built. And we are connected and dependent upon the water, the planet, which gives us life. For there is always a larger truth. We are not alone. We are part of something greater, more beautiful, and more fragile than we can imagine. Let us remember this truth now and always. And let the congregation say, Amen.
Amen.